great that you've all turned up today. I just wanted to make a few comments about a few things going on in cricket and take some questions. I'm heading off tomorrow to London for ICC meetings where there'll be a number of issues that are discussed there, and happy to take some questions on that. But obviously we're interested in progress with the Future Tours program. There'll be some discussions around DRS, no doubt, and also in respect to the 2015 World Cup, and as plans continue to progress for Australia and New Zealand hosting that event. One other thing to touch on is to take the opportunity to congratulate Shaun Marsh, who will play his first Test match for Australia tomorrow. Fantastic effort. He's obviously got great pedigree, with his dad being a very successful Australian cricketer and vice captain, and hopefully it won't be the last Marsh to wear a baggy green cap. His brother Mitchell is also a very promising player, and we wish Shaun all the very best for that. And congratulate the other two players who debuted last week, Nathan Lyon and Trent Copeland, who performed very well in that win. Also wanted to note the fact that I think it's sort of in some ways slipped by, the fact that David Warner has gone over to join the Test team. You'll recall that David joined came onto the scene here at the MCG with an amazing innings in a 2020 match, and has been very much labelled as a 2020 cricketer, but over the course of the last couple of years has put a lot of hard work in there, and his performances have been recognised with this selection to join the touring group with Ricky away. Congratulations to Ricky. Ponting 100 Test wins is an amazing performance, first player ever to do that, and congratulations to Michael Clarke for his first win as Test captain, hopefully the first of many. And of course, best wishes to Ricky and his family for what's ahead. The Big Bash League is continuing to hot up, and 100 days to go till the Big Bash League launches in the middle of December, and we're very much looking forward to that. I know our two state teams that are playing in the Champions League 2020 event are very focused on that opportunity right now, and really progressing their thoughts to well, they're not involved in the qualifying event, but seeing who they're going to be playing when that all gets underway in a week or so's time. So just a few introductory comments from me, and I'm happy to take questions from anyone that might like to put them my way.
Obviously 100 days until the Big Bash League. Do you think that that's probably, given how the hype has been, taken a little bit more focus even on what's happening internationally this summer?
Look, I think it's certainly given cricket a little bit of the extra limelight during the course of the winter months. I think once the Australian cricket teams got underway, there's been some real focus around the Australian cricket team. In those initial stages there, when players were being signed by Big Bash League teams and what have you, there was certainly a lot of interest, and we would expect come the start of the season that to be reflected once again.
There's obviously been a hell of a lot going on in terms of review of the Australian cricket team, the selectors role, the general manager of cricket, all that kind of thing. Have you made any headway there, and when can we expect that you'll have those announcements?
Certainly, it's work in progress, and we're significantly advanced in consideration of the general manager role. That's obviously the priority, as everyone knows. Our priority is to identify and recruit a general manager to fulfil that important role, looking after the Australian team performance. Once that person is identified and appointed, then the review of other positions and appointment of other positions will flow very quickly from that.
Have you got some names that you've interviewed?
Yes, I do have some names, but it's not appropriate for me to be talking about them right now.
James, you did say, though, you're going to cast the net far and wide for that position. Have you been excited by the amount of applicants you may have got from overseas? Yeah,
look, I think the people that we are looking at applicants. There are also people that we've identified from various streams, whether they're a cricket background or other sporting background, or even corporate background, whatever. We want the best person for this job that's going to help the Australian cricket team to get back on top in Test cricket.
Given that nothing can really happen, James, until that person is in place, Are we talking a matter of weeks or months until you would appoint someone?
There's a couple of stages to it. One stage is an appointment, and then the next question is, well, once we appoint someone, how long is it before they can actually start properly in the role? So both of those questions are difficult to talk about. I would like to think it was a matter of weeks before we make an appointment, and then it will depend on what job that person is doing at this time, and how quickly they may be able to make that transition.
So you're pretty confident that someone could be in place before the South African tour for that role?
I'm certainly very confident that we'll have an appointment before then, yes.
And a lot of coaching candidates Tim's obviously got to reapply if he wants the job. Have there been a few that have come forward as well and expressed an interest?
Yeah, look, we haven't really advanced that. We've done some internal analysis of that, but again, that's something that I would be wanting to talk to the general manager about when the appropriate time comes. And right now, obviously, the team's very much in playing mode, and we're searching for a general manager.
Has Tim indicated he wants to reapply?
Look, I was in Sri Lanka a week or so ago and met with Tim. It's really for Tim to talk about what he wants to do, but what I made clear to him at the time is that we're very keen for him to be a frontline applicant for the job, and I don't see any reason why he can't be.
Are you convinced that the technology at the moment is good enough in all parts of the world for it to be used confidently, given there was that decision made of taking technology to first test Sri Lanka, which had to be
Yeah, look, I think it's an ongoing debate. I think we, as in world cricket, is continuing to progress the use of technology, and it is getting better and better. And the facts are that the decision making today is better than it was without the use of technology. But at the same time, we continue to see little quirks in the system, and part of that is that there isn't a consistency of application across all international cricket matches, and that's certainly something that I would like to see. Consistency in the type of applications that are used for a start, as in the breadth of application, but also in the type of specific types of technology. All those things are important, and until we actually get that consistency, I think we're going to find ourselves open to ridicule for not quite getting it right.
James, what about
That's a financial issue, isn't it? Some boards say they can't afford to put it on. Is that where it stands?
Look, I think it's partly a financial issue. There are other issues about access to equipment at the moment, and some other concerns that member countries have. All of those things need to be taken into account and balanced up. But I know the ICC is doing some work on how it may be able to overcome some of those, at least those financial issues, by having it sponsored or looked after, and there'll be things that no doubt we get an update on in London next week.
What did you make of the test pitch in Gaul, and looking into this summer, will there be any instructions you'll be giving to curators around the country in terms of the sorts of pitches you'd like to see, taking into account some of the views in the other sport as well?
Look, I think I don't think I need to comment on the test pitch at Gaul. I think the ICC's done, the referee and umpires have made their judgment on that. I didn't see the pitch, only from a distance on television, but they've made their judgment on that. From a Cricket Australia perspective, what we're looking for is pitches that can provide entertaining cricket. We see that Test cricket should be needs to be presented as a sport for fans to come and watch, or watch on television and to be entertained by it. And unless pitches are of that quality and the right quality, and we're not saying for a moment that it's easy, but unless they are like that, then we're going to leave ourselves open to criticism.
James, I was just going to say, you touched on the debutants Lyon and Copeland. Are you excited by what they could perhaps offer, and do you think they could become regular parts of the team? Yeah,
there seemed to be. I mean, my observations from afar was that there's a real composure around the Australian attack for this Test match, and I thought it was a composure that we haven't seen in recent times. And that's every credit to two guys out of 5 bowlers in the attack that are coming in and playing their first Test match. I think it's interesting just on that. Lyon, I mentioned Warner before, Sean Marsh. They're all players that have actually come through 2020 cricket. They've, in their own way, they've actually all been 2020 cricketers, and yet they've come through into the system to play Test cricket. And from time to time, we hear criticism of 2020 holding players back, or players not being able to develop their games. I think it's fascinating to see that happen. One of the guys in our office, actually, in talking about David Warner, sometimes says, well, if you can make 100 in 20 overs, surely you can make 100 in a day. And that's exactly the recognition that Dave Warner is getting from the selectors after what was a really successful tour for him in Zimbabwe with the Australia A.
And just on the DRS again, with Hawkeye basically admitting that the tracking went wrong on that Phil Hughes dismissal, would you have any concerns about continuing to use the tracking element of that in Test cricket?
Look, I'm very comfortable with the tracking. I think that what there needs to be is we need to continue to have mechanisms by which umpires can make judgments about where the technology is not working or falling down. And so one of my concerns is that under the laws of the game, the batsman should always have the benefit of the doubt, and he should never lose that benefit of the doubt. And sometimes perhaps it would appear to me, at least, that technology is confusing that.
James, will there be any more discussions about day-night Test cricket when you're over in London? And
I hope so.
How far are we away from seeing something like?
Look, it's not. There's not universal support for that at the moment. It's something that certainly at Cricket Australia level we are continuing to explore. We want to pursue twilight fixtures in Sheffield Shield cricket to try to move those 4-day matches into the evening time. And it just follows for us as a matter of course that it's something for the fans. By definition, a Test match is played. At least 3 out of the 5 days of a Test match are played on weekdays when people are working, and it's played during the day. If we can move it more into the evening, Test matches more into the evening, then we are only creating greater opportunities for cricket fans to watch Test cricket live, either at the match or on their televisions.
So might there be some Shield this summer that's played into twilight? Or
I think we've certainly got plans to, I'm not sure exactly of the times or what states they're in, but we certainly have plans to have twilight Shield matches this year, yes.
Is Shane Warne likely to feature in the Big Bash in some way, whether a player or a coach?
I'm not sure. I'm not privy to Shane's thinking on that. He seems to be pretty busy and not in Melbourne or in Australia that much at the moment, but it would certainly be, I'd welcome his participation in the Big Bash League. It would be great to see him coming in and playing for one of the Melbourne teams, and I'm sure the Melbourne public would decide. Many fans in Melbourne have a difficult decision to make as to which side they go with, and I'm sure if Shane picked one or the other, that would be a determinant for a lot of people.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, everyone.